Recruits at the St. Louis County and Municipal Police Academy have much to be thankful for. They're less than a month from graduation, and the worst is behind them.
This is the worst day of the academy.
You just feel like you're on fire.
Like it literally feels like your face is falling off.
You get that initial burn, but you're like, okay, like this is okay, I can handle this, until he says,
oh, and blank.
Police officers throughout St. Louis County are equipped with tools aimed at de-escalating intense situations.
I think it's important for them to understand, if they're going to carry that weapon on their belt, to understand the effects of that weapon.
One of those weapons is OC, or oleoresin capsicum, the active ingredient in pepper spray made from the oils and waxes of the cayenne pepper plant.
incapacitates you so much from being able to think, from being able to see your surroundings, from being able to do anything physical.
Despite these effects the pepper spray has, recruits are pushed to think.
Decock the weapon
by doing what?
By taking the safety off, put it in a safe direction.
See
Now blink.
and fight
That's it.
as they move through an obstacle course.
Only thing I could hear was Officer Osterman telling me that I can do it.
There you go.
That's the only voice I was hearing.
There you go.
You have to calm yourself down and realize that you're not going to die.
Good job.
You have to be able to put that aside
Excellent job there, Green.
and think, what's next?
Academy instructor Eric Osterman says pepper spray is considered a low level of force.
The level of pain is high, but the level of injury is very low.
When reasonable, recruits are taught to use it early on in a confrontation.
We want to minimize the injury potential to both the officer and the subject that we're trying to take into custody. OC, in my opinion, is probably the best for that.
While everybody reacts differently to the substance, Osterman says generally the initial effects of the pepper spray last up to 90 minutes, but residual effects may linger for hours longer.
It's extremely effective. As you saw, 27 of us dealt with it differently, but we were each in extreme pain.
Help her to the water.
The nice thing is that you know they will recover if that's what's necessary in order to get in control of the situation, but I'm also thankful we have other tools on our belt that we could use that maybe won't have such a long-lasting effect. That is the longest 5 seconds I've ever experienced.
You can't move at all. You're just ready for it to stop.
Everything just gets really tight, and then you start to feel that. Just everything is just rushing through your body, all this electricity. It was really painful. Yeah.
The electrical charge from a taser interrupts the communication between a person's brain and their muscles for 5 seconds, giving the officer enough time to take control of the subject.
If those two people weren't standing there holding my arms, I would have went down like a brick.
You can think just fine, you can reason, you have rationale, you can hear what's going on around you. You just can't move the muscles of your body like your arms and your legs. When I say arm, you'll arm.
To avoid confusion amongst the chaos, recruits learn the importance of announcing when they are deploying a taser.
The taser has a very loud, audible sound, a very audible crack on deployment that can sound similar to a gunshot.
Osterman says it's up to an officer's discretion within their department policy to decide which less lethal tool is appropriate for each encounter. He says tasers became widely accepted by law enforcement in the early 2000s, pepper spray about a decade earlier. And before that, officers were limited to a nightstick and a firearm.
So that forced the officer to go hands-on a lot of times with the subject, increasing that injury ratio, injury potential for both the subject and the police officer, which is what we're looking to minimize at all costs if we can.
It really is a good de-escalation tool because you're not throwing elbows or doing any, risking breaking bones or anything like that. It is simply just 5 seconds of pain compliance and you will comply.
Hey, good job.
One of the largest devices an officer must use is their vehicle. Next, we'll learn about the training recruits go through to operate a police vehicle, from parallel parking to a pursuit through unfamiliar territory. It's all part of Fox 2's exclusive look inside the Academy.